Patrick Netherton Show, 11:30 The Tiger. We welcome you back in, and we're pleased to welcome in a good friend of mine who is also the 2022 Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl chairman. He is Rob Rubel. What's up, brother? How are you? Everything good?
I'm good, man.
Yeah?
I'm good, yeah.
So you got to you have one of the weirdest bucket list items I've ever seen or heard of.
I know. I'm nervous.
You wanted to meet Rogers Hampton,
the man behind the scenes.
Yeah, he is the man. Really, he was the man in the box.
Everything. This is great. I'm
yeah,
goosebumps.
Yeah. He was the man in the box at one point. He was the man behind the curtain at one point. Now he's just your
all utility man.
He is. He's jack of all trades, master of none. So I've got to imagine it's because like I was the same way with Ben and JJ growing up. Because when you grow up here, like I called into I tell this story about twice a year. I called into Ben and JJ's show when I was in high school, and they were talking about the Shreveport Pirates, the CFL team. And they were asking for a nickname for the Pirates defense. And I thought I was pretty clever. I was like, why don't you call it the Armada? You know, the Pirates had, Spanish Armada or whatever. And Ben was like, oh, didn't they lose? Didn't they just get destroyed, the Spanish Armada? That's a terrible name. And then one of my friends who was
Spot on impression.
Well, thank you. John! So one of my friends in the back of I was driving my dad's Suburban. We were going somewhere when I called in. And one of my friends in the back just screamed the F word. And we got promptly cut off the air. But then I met JJ and Ben. Yeah, met JJ and Ben and kind of. So I've got to imagine for you that's a little the same way. You getting to meet Rogers Hampton.
It totally is. And I love the fact that like you can call or text in, and it gets read on air. I mean, anytime you want to, obviously you can't drop F-bombs in the background.
No, I prefer you not.
I mean, yeah.
We do have a dump button, so if that happens, we can dump the last 7 seconds. So it won't go out of the air.
They had to get that technology for your friend. That's all there was to it.
Well, they need. I know a few people that could use that technology. To be honest with you. All right, so you take over as the chairman of the Independence Bowl. You've had a nice run of chairman here in the last couple of years.
Oh, no doubt.
Good dudes. And so you take over. Tell me about kind of the pressure involved with taking over that kind of sort of prestigious title.
Yeah, it's so it starts at our annual meeting in March. Technically, there's a vote. Okay, you got to really, I sweat through that thing. You got to wait till the end of the entire meeting before to do the vote. But everything went through okay. Here I am, chairman. I'm still getting used to spelling the word, much less saying it.
Yeah, it's an A-N.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to remember that. Chairman.
But, I'm standing on the shoulders of guys that came before me that did some great work.
Yeah. Well, here's
specifically Frank, Landon Radiance, this most recent chairman. It's just been an amazing experience.
Me, the hardest thing for me would be trying to replicate Carmody's hair.
You just can't do it.
I mean,
you got to have realistic expectations.
Right.
And you can't, no one's that beautiful. There's only one.
That's the thing. Like that's what I would feel the most pressure about. I was like, I don't care that Frank got Radiance.
And I was thinking about this earlier.
Yeah.
So does he look a little like Rory McIlroy to you?
A little bit, yeah.
He's got that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder how far Rory McIlroy can kick a football.
Not as far as our Carmen.
Well, certainly not. Certainly not. But I'm thinking, Frank lands Radiance Technologies, which was a big deal, and y'all got a multi-year deal out of them, so you had some stability, which is kind of rare in college football, sort of the bowl outlook. But then you're like, well, yeah, but Carmody was there a couple of years ago, and that guy's
and we had a great year. I mean,
it
was a great game. That was Louisiana Tech Miami.
Yeah, but I mean, that's just how do you follow that hair? I don't know.
You got to be realistic.
Yeah, I don't know.
You just can't.
That's weird.
I'm not gonna lie. When I let these red locks go a little,
you should.
It's pretty sweet.
You should.
Well, now as chairman, I kind of have to.
No, you don't. So Carmody has proven that you can go with the longer hair and get away with it.
Let me just say that long hair on me is not as clean cut as it looks on Carmody.
I mean,
I'll tell you that.
No, you're not.
I got
Rogers
more.
Hampton.
No, I got more of the dual exhaust out the back there.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, and Hambone's powered by diesel fuel, so he's ready to go.
That's right. It's probably something to it.
He's already drinking diesel fuel as we speak. All right, Rob. So you take over. Obviously, there's some stability with the title sponsor, which is nice. You don't have to necessarily get into that sort of minutia and stuff. But tell me what coming in are some of the things that you were really, I don't say concerned about, but most wanting to tackle and kind of, what are you focused on in there? Because you don't really have to worry too much about the title sponsor.
I want to build on that stability.
Yeah.
We have a great staff. As far as I'm concerned, as far as bowl staffs go, it's hardest working staff in the country. And I want to make sure that, we're showing signs finally of what I would say is true organizational growth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I know I don't want to put people to sleep out there, but it's important.
I've been asleep since the start of the show, so don't worry.
I mean, providing some support structure where we need it the most. Okay, a lot of meetings, a lot of paper, a lot of fun stuff like that. But also just building on what we do best: hospitality, our bowl experience. Look, I get it. You look at the numbers. Shreveport-Bossier City probably shouldn't have ever had, nor continue to have, a college football bowl game.
Right.
But we do.
Yeah.
And the stories behind and the effort behind.
And it's the 10th longest running bowl in the country.
11th oldest, yeah.
Yeah.
To me, I want people to be proud of that. So I want to build on that. Every chance we get, I want to celebrate that. I want to celebrate our awesome local and long-term sponsors, Radiance, and everybody else that helps put this thing on every year. It's a year-round thing now. And to me, I've lived here 12 years. I call Shreveport home. I want people to be proud of it, because I am.
So, talking to Rob Rubel, the chairman of the Independence Bowl, Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl, coming to you via the First Choice Personnel Hotline, although not really, because he's sitting here. He's not on the phone.
Nobody comes in anymore?
No,
is that the deal? I guess I didn't realize that.
No, it's mostly it's well, but it wasn't true, even before COVID. No one really came into nothing is really,
unless you got Budweiser.
You come to the VIP entrance when you're carrying Budweiser.
That's the hall pass.
That's the VIP key. But yeah, it's a that we don't really get in studio guests, and we have. I mean, the whole industry's changed in a lot of ways, because phone lines, and then now once COVID happened, now everyone gets, especially the ones that simulcast on television, they get everybody on Zoom. So you don't have to come in to be on television. You can just get on Zoom, and it happens very easily. Whereas before Zoom was prevalent, you would have to actually have a television station. You'd have to go to a TV station to get the hookup to be on a like a Colin Cowherd or one of those shows.
You just can't replace that personal touch, though. That face-to-face, that
it's
to
different.
Me,
and look, you can't meet Rogers Hampton from the phone line.
I mean, come on. That was my whole agenda today. When I got that text from you to come on the show, I mean, I was ready. I already had my Bull shirt on.
Hey,
I mean, it was
fate. It was kismet.
It was
perfect.
I have a question for you.
Oh, okay, fine.
So,
it's not how this
grew
works,
up here,
but all right,
obviously.
Go ahead. Yeah,
I know. I'm trying to keep it spicy.
Flip the script.
But I mean, you grew up going to the Independence Bowl, right? Or you watched it?
I didn't go to all of them. I went to a lot of them.
Yeah. I mean, I just want my kids to go to a lot of them.
Yeah.
Too.
I went to, I was there for the Michigan State LSU back-to-back kickoff returns for touchdown between Eddie Kennison and Muhsin Muhammad. I was there for that. I was there for I was actually the one that I wish I had gone to. I didn't, was the Snow Bowl.
Okay.
And I didn't go to that one because my sister was getting married that day in New Orleans.
Excuse, I guess.
So I'm driving back from New Orleans listening to the Independence Bowl. I get to about Natchitoches and start hitting some serious snow. And I'm like, well, something's going on. And they're talking about how it's a blanket of snow in the Independence Bowl. I'm like, that can't be right. They got to be exaggerating. Of course, I come back and see it. I'm driving 30.
You woke up in a twilight zone.
I'm driving 30 miles an hour down I-49 because there's too much ice on the road. So that was crazy. But yeah, I went a good bit.
Makes for a memorable wedding too, I guess.
Well, luckily there wasn't snow in New Orleans, so you don't have to worry about that.
You said New Orleans.
Yeah.
Still.
But yeah, I mean, I went quite a bit. I went to a lot of captains games. I went to a lot of Battle Wings games. Went to a lot of Pirates games. I was a huge Pirates fan back in the day.
Yeah.
And could still name you a lot of the Shreveport Pirates from
give me the time frame they were here.
94, 95. It was my junior and senior year of high school, and me and my friend group were just huge Pirates fans. We were massive Pirates fans.
You still got some old Pirates.
I have
Shreveport Pirates
I have a flag. I have a giant Pirates flag that I specifically went and found on eBay one day.
Nice.
I have a whole set of Shreveport Pirates trading cards. Excellent. That have all the guys on them. I still have a Pirates mini helmet. And I think that may be all I have.
But so you've got some. That's good.
Yeah. Where's my Independence Bowl mini helmet? That's what I want to know. When are we getting one of those?
Supply chain issues.
Okay, is that what it is? Supply chain issues? Yeah.
But I saw the prototype.
When in doubt, really go to when in doubt, go with it's the thing that's stuck
I was trying to stay in line with the motif of the show. You had how many parts deliveries? Guys calling in and texting in.
Very strange.
Yeah, I'm liking it's a good blue collar vibe for my first appearance.
Hey, I need some of those guys. I need some of those guys to start delivering some mini helmets over here. It's on the list. I have an Independence Bowl something. And I don't remember what it is. I have all my memorabilia like kind of all flung around in my house. So I have to.
So August 30th.
Oh, we do it. There you go. There's the LSU Michigan State 95
Look at that
Independence
relic.
Bowl. Yeah.
I can't see that on Facebook.
Yeah, that's the one. The Poulon Weed Eater Independence Bowl.
Still in pretty good shape.
Yeah. No, that was the game. That back-to-back kick.
That logo. Was that
awesome. To start the game that Eddie Kennison and Muhsin Muhammad had back-to-back kickoff returns for touchdown? I think it was to start the game. And I was just like, this is amazing.
A pretty good start to a
football. Yeah. Yeah, Nick Saban was at Michigan State.
I've heard some great
Jerry DiNardo was
Michigan
at LSU.
State not a lot I want to talk about on air. But.
All right, so what we really need to talk about is that y'all have announced your kickoff dinner, and you've announced your guest, who is your first non-football guest to be the speaker for the Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl. Kim Mulkey, head coach of the LSU women's basketball team.
Super excited about this.
Yeah, she's a dynamic speaker. She's really good. Have you ever heard her speak? She's incredible. I look forward to introducing her and then getting out of the way for her. I'm very excited to do that. But kind of take us through the process of getting Mulkey.
It's just we meet throughout the year with our executive committee, and we're constantly planning. Like I was saying earlier, it's a year-round event. It's a lot more than just one football game, to say the least. And we know coming up every meeting we've got a list of stuff coming up. All of our typical events. We know that the kickoff dinner or luncheon is going to be somewhere July, August, right? And, it's slowly but surely we're starting to, talk about who could we get. Someone throws her name out there and it's like, oh, that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
And first time also, first non-football speaker, also first gold medalist.
Oh. And I'm a first female speaker, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Yep. 6-time. I mean, it's hard to keep up with all of the
4-time national champion
as a player and a coach. 6 total, I think.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And of course, from Tickfaw, but basically spent the majority of her life in Ruston.
She's huge for North Louisiana. As one of our staffers put it, she transcends her sport.
Yeah.
I mean,
the funny thing is
a huge get for us. We maybe waited a little bit to hammer out all the details, but and then her coming to LSU obviously last year, the timing was perfect.
And of course, one thing I don't know that and we were talking about this earlier. I don't know how much she can talk about Michaela Williams, but we have the #1 basketball player in the country at Parkway who is already committed to her, but she hasn't signed, which means I don't think Mulkey can talk about her, if I recall correctly. So I'm not sure she can actually speak about her.
Good for her to be here, right?
No, I mean that doesn't hurt. I have a feeling I'm assuming they can meet. I don't think it's a dead period for recruiting. So I'm assuming they can just hang out and say hi or whatever. So I don't know.
I'll leave them to the rules. I don't know either.
I'm not privy to all the recruiting. Everything changes all the.
And so you're going to MC the event.
I am. Yes.
Thank you. You do a great job with that. By the way,
thank you.
I got to say, on a personal level, so 2018 was you MC'd it. It was Drew Brees. You gave a perfect introduction to Drew Brees.
Well, I did something different for Drew than I've ever done. Normally, I kind of give the accolades, and maybe I've put in a kind of a quip, and then I'm introducing. Because I see my job as introduce the next person, get out of the way. Here's Rob Rubel. I'm out of the way.
Yeah, it's that kind of event. It's to be that way for me too.
But you've had previous MCs who do like to take their time and talk a little bit about what's going on, and they'll talk about themselves a little bit.
The Iron Unkind.
Yes, the Iron Unkind. But
for the record, I can't hear that.
I know you have plausible deniability. I on the other hand have always believed at those type of events that my job is to keep the program moving. No one's there to hear me talk. They are here to have the speaker. Now, Drew Brees was different because Drew Brees is someone that personally impacted me as a Saints fan growing up. Right.
I mean, professionally, you nailed it, and as a fan, it was perfect.
Well, and I was like, I don't want to. And I actually, I didn't tell anyone I was doing it, and I felt bad to some degree doing it. It only took like 4 minutes, so I wasn't taking up a ton of time.
Yeah, it wasn't.
But I felt like I owed it to kind of, and I felt like I was speaking for a lot of people as well, not just myself. Basically, telling Drew, thank you because. Growing up a Saints fan, you never thought that the Saints would win the Super Bowl. They found ways to disappoint you.
Well, and we were only less than 2 years off the 2016 World Series.
Right.
As you know, I grew up Cubs fan,
yeah.
So, I mean, you made the right moment out of that moment.
Yeah.
I mean, it was.
So I wanted to take the opportunity to say it, and that was my chance to say it. So I went ahead and did it, and I tried not to make it too long, and I didn't want to make it about me. But to me, I felt like I was speaking for a lot of the fandom that out there, because as Rogers can tell you, growing up a Saints fan and growing up a Cubs fan, your currency,
like you said in the thing, you know what? You made something happen. A lot of us didn't think would ever happen.
Your currency as a Saints fan or as a Cubs fan growing up is, I have a better story of how we snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. Right? I've got the best story of how this happened. And for me in the 90s, it was Mike Ditka trading away his entire draft for Ricky Williams. It was Jim Haslett kind of being okay. It was Jim Mora saying, I'm going to keep Carl Smith as offensive coordinator as long as I can, and he'll always be my offensive coordinator while you're averaging 11 points a game. That's the kind of stuff that I grew up with, where I remember specifically playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. There was a 4th and 27, and the Buccaneers converted, had a 28-yard gain on 4th and 27, and went on to win that game when they shouldn't have. You should never let them convert a 4th and 27.
Well, I grew up cheering for the Bears, so I feel your pain.
Yeah, but at least y'all had a championship to fall back on. Cubs fans don't have that. Did not have
similar,
that.
Yeah.
And y'all always found, and
lovable losers.
Yeah. And so
every
so
then
once Drew got there, it changed the outcome. And then, but still, even then, I remember I'm sitting there. Tracy Porter returns the pick for a touchdown to put the Saints up, 14, I think at that point, or 17, something like that. And it was 2 or 3 minutes left. And all I remember thinking is, how are they going to blow it? Like, I'm sitting here literally on the cusp of a title for my team.
And it can only happen that way.
Yes.
They got to get everybody hooked in. It could not be a blowout, otherwise it wouldn't have felt right.
Here we go.
Yeah.
There's going to be Peyton Manning's they're going to return a kickoff. They're going to get the onside kick. Manning's going to take, whatever it was going to be, they were going to find a way to win. And it wasn't until I think he threw another pick there at the end, and then I was like, okay, that I can finally exhale, and I think I even cried a little bit. But yeah,
it's okay. You get one in your life. You picked the right.
But you get the opportunity to tell the person most responsible for that of how that affected them, and he's heard that 10,000 times from 10,000 different people. But that was mine.
Yeah.
And that was my chance to tell him.
I thought it was a genuine,
it was a good moment. Now, Kim Mulkey, I won't have that kind of moment because she and I don't have any connection at all. I'm like, Coach,
we're all here to listen to her.
When you led LSU to that 23-6 record in your first year, no, I'm not going to have that. Like, that's not, that's not going to have that. But I'm really excited to hear her speak because she is an incredibly dynamic speaker.
Yeah.
And I go back to when she was hired. And I still laugh because she alphaed every coach she met on that campus. She gets off the plane, and there's Ed Ogeron, and she alphas Ed Ogeron. She's handshake, I'm bigger. Like, she was bigger than Ed Ogeron, and she goes and she meets Will Wade, and she's bigger than Will Wade, and Paul Maneri, and she alphaed every single one of those coaches. It was phenomenal.
Yeah, you gotta love it.
So that's why she's going to be great.
Yeah, she's not shy to rule the roost in a man's world whatsoever.
I
dig that.
She's the alpha.
So yeah, we're excited. I mean, August 30th.
Yeah.
6 o'clock. The
6
doors
o'clock
open.
doors.
6:15.
Dinner.
We start feeding, and it should start around 7.
7 o'clock. Yeah.
And tickets are $50 a piece, and $400 for a table of 8. And we're hoping we sell it out
discount.
like
That's a great discount, by the way.
Yeah, the math works. I checked it before. I had, nothing goes without my final approval.
I was like, hey,
it's got, I really need my own chairman stamp, and I'm thinking about using that logo right there.
Use it right there, man.
With my face on the eagle.
Perfect. That's perfect. I do think you should have gone with a, hey, by the way, if you want to buy a table, it's a better deal. The table for 8 is $395.
Yeah.
$5 off. Yeah, you should have gone with that. Cut them a special deal.
I feel like we'd get calls and complaints to no end if we did.
I mean, look.
What kind of deal is this?
Yeah, well, hey, it's a better deal than if you're paying $400 for a table of 8.
It's still $5 less, right?
$5. It's
when
something.
You're feeding 3 kids in my house, $5 is $5.
No kidding. All right, so remind us again what the tie-ins are for the game this year.
So this year's primary agreements are with Army West Point on the independent side,
right,
and the American Athletic Conference.
So Army versus American.
Yeah,
I'm curious,
really excited. I mean,
well, Army's got a chance to be pretty good. They were good last year.
They've been good the last couple of years.
They've got a chance to be good.
I love everything
again.
about that place.
The Jeff Monken's still the coach?
Yes.
Yeah. So here's my question now, because obviously we're entering a really weird time in college athletics, college football especially, with realignment. Everything's going haywire. Now, I kind of have to remind everyone that even with all of these things being announced, none of them are set to go into effect for a few years. Like, OU and Texas aren't in the SEC for a couple of years. USC and UCLA aren't in the Big Ten for a couple of years.
Right.
Now, obviously, it doesn't really affect y'all at that level, but it's the trickle down that I know you have to be then concerned about. BYU,
we're constantly following it.
Well, BYU is one of your independents. Right. Do y'all have, or have you already gotten, or is that something you cross that bridge down the road, or are y'all already planning for, hey, we got to figure out what to do with BYU because they're moving into the Big 12. We've got to figure out, hey, some of these teams might be moving from some of these leagues. How do you kind of approach that?
It's a tough question to answer because we're just constantly monitoring it. I
ask the tough questions.
You do. I mean, I brought Budweiser. I thought I'd get nothing but softballs.
This is your hardball question, so appreciate it. So dodge as fast as you can.
Yeah, I'm not going to Mike Ditka this thing. Let's put it
dodge it.
But no, all we can do is, we currently have agreements with BYU through the rest of this 6-year deal.
Right.
They play 2 more times in our game. That's where we're at with it. But I'd be lying if I said we weren't constantly monitoring what's going to change. This latest change, we don't know what kind of trickle down. It's kind of dragging their feet now. Where again, they have time, I guess. So it's hard to say where we'll go, where we'll be after 25.
Right.
But all I know is we're all about relationships, and it's no different in the bowl business. Is you really rely on those relationships moving forward, and what we've been doing since 1976.
Do y'all have your travel already planned, as far as going to various? Because you always go to kind of scout teams, locations.
Not yet.
Is that? Do you have a trip to Army already planned because Army's on one side of the game, or do you say, we'll kind of figure that out as we go along?
We know we'll probably at least make a trip.
Right.
We're big on that, and that actually what I dig about it is it makes us kind of old school.
Yeah.
All the corporate sort of influence on the bowl business, there's not a lot of that going on anymore, at least not at our level.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me personally, that my trek to becoming chairman.
Yeah.
When I got involved with the bowl 10 years ago, I thought, I'd get involved with the 501c3, maybe a little more charitable,
right?
Feeding the poor, whatever. I stuck with the bowl because it felt right. But by far, when you go somewhere, especially if you go on your own,
mm-hmm.
you go to Birmingham, you go to San Antonio, you go to New Orleans, wherever, and you're out there selling Shreveport Bossier City in the Independence Bowl.
And you're wearing your cool red jacket?
I put the blue one on for those trips.
Okay.
The red one I save.
Save for home.
By the way, that photo of me. On, does it get any more red than that?
I mean, that's about as
that
about
is
as
like
red as
Bozo Circus level red right there.
Yeah.
I dig that. That red jacket's a big deal.
Yeah.
And I'll have it on the 30th.
Yeah.
That's my deal with getting people.
Have you gotten your speech ready to go? Because you get to speak at the
that one's
dinner.
a little more scripted. Like you said, hey, we're just here to kind of
we're here to move it along to get to Kim
the real
Mulkey.
speech.
Yeah.
But you're out there on your own, still in your community, and I love it. But I mean, you're like, now you're connected. That's a real special experience, personally, selfishly, I guess. But so I mean, yeah, if they say we should send somebody and they need somebody, I'll go.
Yeah. Do they? Do you get to go in the prize room or whatever and pick the PS3 or what is it, PS5 now?
No,
whatever.
That's
just for the players.
The player suite. Yeah.
You don't get to go in there and be like, you know what? I think my kid could use a one of these.
And my kid's got enough toys. God, kids have so many toys now.
Well, just Rogers Hampton. He's got all the toys he needs. Red cans. It's the only toys he needs. Rogers,
life was simpler then.
I'm surprised Rogers doesn't have like wind chimes made out of Budweiser cans. I actually saw wind chimes made out of Miller Lite cans one time. They were in fish. They were like connected to wooden fish, and the fish would knock around with each other at the cans on them, and that was wind chimes.
I think I had a bird feeder once. It was a beer can. But it was like a Cubs bird feeder. No, it didn't really work very well. It just kind of sat there and rusted.
Yeah, and then the birds got
I
drunk.
didn't know what to. I was like, the birds are eating fine. I don't need to feed them anything more. Yeah.
And the birds are drunk on Budweiser at that point. So Rogers would never waste his Budweiser on birds.
No, why would you?
It's
smart.
That's it's not good at all. All right, so August 30th, that will be at 6 o'clock. Doors open, 6:15 dinner, 7 o'clock. We'll get you Kim Mulkey and the program beginning with yours truly at the helm. I keep trying to let them not make me wear a coat and tie, and I keep not getting overruled. So, if you want to tell them I can wear a Radiance,
I know the feeling.
Technologies,
believe me, you don't get to be chairman without being overruled.
No,
it happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
I that's why I always pack a sweat rag.
Yeah,
because I do not wear. I
look out the window these days and I start sweating.
No, I do not wear formal clothing well. If I, and everyone's like, "Oh, wear an undershirt." I'm like,
you're a big teddy bear. What do you mean?
I don't need that. All right. So, Army versus American Athletic Conference bowl date again.
December 23rd.
Okay,
it's
good.
Friday before Christmas.
I was just testing you because I knew that.
We do not have a time yet, but it'll probably be afternoon. We're excited. It's a great date. We got another good day. Yep.
Yeah.
And so we're hoping the local community comes out in droves. Get your ticket. I mean, for a drive down the street and $30, you're going to see some really good football.
I just always pray for good weather. We don't need the Ohio ULM weather again.
Yeah, last year's weather was pretty tough.
Last year's weather
was going to get pneumonia again.
Well, so the one good thing about the weather last year was it was bad to start, but if you kind of toughed out through,
thanks to that wind,
and it got much better as it went along.
It was a great football game.
But you just had and it was a terrific football game. You just had to kind of get through that initial surge, which was not a lot of fun.
Yeah, make a nice long weekend, Christmas weekend out of it.
There you go.
Come on out,
There you go. Merry Christmas to us. Hey, Merry Christmas to you. You get to listen to me on the big booming.
That's right. You're gonna MC that event too, basically, right?
PA for that thing. I will say I'm shocked at how many people text me during the game. Like, I hear you on TV. Like, how are you hearing me on TV? I'm in the background. Like, I'm not the guy talking. Anyway, it doesn't matter. This isn't about me. This is not the Patrick Netherton show. It's Rob Rubel.
No, hey, the Independence Bowl is bigger than all of us. That's what we say.
Oh. That's nice. That's nice. I don't believe it with Art Carmody, but that's nice.
Well, there's
for the
always
rest
exceptions,
of
but
yeah.
Sometimes you got it's just all lines
ego.
up. Yeah.
The ego on that kid. Ego on that kid is remarkable. Dude, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Congrats on Kim Mulkey. That's tremendous. We're definitely looking forward to the Indy Bowl as we always do. The kickoff luncheon on August 30th. And then the bowl game on December 23rd, and then of course there's events. What else is happening between now and the
so
game?
We've got a whole week full of events.
Right.
Let me make sure I don't miss anything.
Now he had no notes until this point. I got him to break out the notes.
I don't go anywhere. They send me notes. They
Eric's like, sir, we need to make sure you mention this.
Yeah. As soon as I find it here.
Yeah.
So that Tuesday, which would be December 20th, big game show.
Right.
So I don't know if you've been to it.
I want to host that. I know it's an outside company that comes in and do it, but
the whole game show thing.
Yeah. I'm mad that I don't get to be a game show host, because that was my ultimate dream in life, was to be a game show host.
Really?
Yeah, I just always wanted to be. I want to have the big card in my hand where I'm reading things off of, or I want the big long Bob Barker microphone.
Yeah.
I want something like that. That's what I've always
could probably
wanted.
Dismantle one of these. Just kind of carry it with you.
Yeah.
Just take it with you.
I've always wanted to have. That's why I used to, and I wish I still could. I used to host quiz bowls, like high school quiz bowls. I would be the moderator and asking all the questions. I love that.
Yeah.
I would love to have been the Jeopardy guy.
Hey, you never know. I know the chairman. Maybe we can make that.
Maybe
get you like a guest.
Yeah,
guest
can I come on? Can I come on to ask like 5
Actually, I have
questions?
no idea if I can even do that.
Yeah, like,
but
just have me come on to ask one question. That's all I need. Let me
those
carry
kids.
A big
but you've been to it,
card.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, those kids really get into it.
Oh, they love it.
It's, I mean, if it's not free, it's pretty reasonable every year.
Yeah.
Bring your kids. That's a great family event. I brought my kids. Every time I brought them, they've had a blast at it.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know what it is, both teams compete in a trivia-style game show, and man, these kids get into it. They're just getting into town, really, and it's the competition begins.
I want to come in and ask the really old people questions. These kids that probably have no idea what I'm talking about. There's actually a game show that just started. I think it's called Generation Gap. Kelly Ripa is hosting. It's one of those, summer game show type shows. And it is, by the way, Double J said, Rogers, you'd make a great Rod Roddy. Hey, boy, come on down. Yeah.
Get our own hype man in there. Yeah, I like it.
So the Generation Gap game is it's amazing. They're asking like 12-year-olds question about Three's Company and All in the Family and stuff. I want to come in and ask those college-age kids stuff about musical acts from the 60s and stuff like that. I would love that. I think that'd be hilarious. Anyway, continue.
I like it. I like that. It's a good
Generation Gap. I was like, why isn't someone come up with that game? It's like a grandparent and a grandchild competing with each other, like on the same team, but they ask the grandkid old people questions and they ask the old person baby questions. Like who's Dua Lipa and stuff like that. That would be amazing. I'm surprised it took this long for someone to come up with that idea.
Probably add to the collection of dad jokes just in one episode.
It's got a lot of potential. Just let me come in and ask the old people questions, about tell me about who are the 4 tops, of the let me ask the college kids who are the 4 tops.
Tie and like no pants, like
a doddering old man.
Yeah, be good. I could see that. I could see that in your future.
All right, what else you got?
So FCA breakfast,
right?
Wednesday. That Thursday, it's going to be like an all-day thing. But starting at 5:30, we've got the rally on the red. At 5:30, we'll have a Mardi Gras preview parade, battle of the bands, and then a free concert.
Yeah.
To play, and that's usually a great night. And then, obviously, Friday the game. But,
there you go.
We'll have Fan Fest going, the tailgate going all day Friday. Probably get you some decent barbecue there.
My guy Stephen Joseph has oftentimes come over and done a tailgate at.
We need to get him out again.
Yeah, no kidding.
No doubt.
And of course, I always end up going to Boyd Parker's tailgate, Ross Setters, and that whole crew. You have the Shreveport Rubber and Gasket tailgate.
Right,
I mean, that's where the real food
You're
is.
going to get fed well.
Yeah. Brother, looking forward to it. Man, I'm excited.
I appreciate it.
Excited. I'm glad you got to meet your hero, Rogers Hampton,
absolutely.
who is about to kill me for taking a 36-minute segment in the 4 o'clock hour. That's a 3 o'clock hour segment. Yeah, Roger's going to, by the way, we'll be back in like 38 minutes.
Did we go too long?
We went very, very much too long. Rogers hates me right now. You just don't know it. This is when
So he's got a smile on his face.
Well, that's because he's a cat in a dog suit. Inside, he's a cat. Outside, he's a dog. He looks happy.
He's a cat dog?
Yeah, he's a cat inside, dog outside. He looks happy-go-lucky, big smile on his face. Inside, he's a ball of hatred right now.
Yeah.
Seething at me for forcing him to play like a 9-minute commercial block.
Sometimes the dog bites.
Yeah, well, The cat is always ready to bite. Rob, congrats, man. Looking forward to it.
It was good
should be a
seeing
lot
you
of fun.
too.
You too, brother.
I mean,
you too.
It's great.
We'll be back in 11 minutes. It's the Patrick Netherton Show. Big thanks to Rob Rubel, chairman of this year's Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl.